All right, guys, here we go. This just in this week, Mighty Mouse is helping us with the thing. Aspirin's in the news. Now, this came out back in August. They were doing studies on aspirin, trying to figure out, are they beneficial? Are they not beneficial? Do they really do what they're supposed to do? Well, the studies found that, hey, they're not that great. Well, a new one came out this week. It was in USA Today this week. It was talking about an aspirin a day may not be the way to go. Now, I've known this for years, and I've counseled all my patients that if your doctor does not tell you specifically to take an aspirin, don't. That's the rule of thumb. You don't do it unless you're told to. Why? Because, guys, aspirin, although they're over the counter, and we think they're innocent and harmless and sweet and little and petite, they can hurt you. An aspirin causes a bleed in your intestinal tract for 36 to 48 hours in every human being that takes one. Now, the question is, how much aspirin does it take? Because I always hear, well, doc, I take a baby aspirin. Okay. It's not that much. It's 80 milligrams, right? Most people are taking the 350s or the 300s. We're only taking the 80s. It takes 10 milligrams, 10, to cause a bleed in the intestinal tract for over a day. Now, you think about that. What's it matter? It's just a little bleed. Yeah, but if you're doing it every day all the time, now you become a bigger problem. It gets to be a bigger bleed. Well, new research came out this week. The American Heart Association, the American College of Cardiology, just reversed the low-dose aspirin is safe model. They reversed their theory on this. Now, for a big group like this to come out and say, hey, look, we were wrong. We don't want to do this anymore. There's a problem with it. What's the problem? Ironically, a bleed. Hey, who knew, right? So here we are. Now, they found in their research that by taking a low-dose aspirin, if you've not suffered a heart attack, now, I'm going with your physicians on this. Make sure you consult with them. If you've not suffered a heart attack, then there's no benefit to you. It does not increase longevity. It doesn't increase life expectancy. It doesn't really do anything any good for us, and it increases the risk of hemorrhaging exponentially. So this is a big, big deal. Right? This is something that's going to flip the whole industry on its head right now because you've got doctor after doctor after doctor saying, look, yeah, take an aspirin, it's good for you, anyone can do it. Well, now we're finding out, hey, this is not such a good idea, and it may have potentially caused tens of thousands, if not millions, of problems over the last 100 years. We've been telling everybody to do this. So it brings me back to this idea. How many other times have we been wrong about things? How many other times have we said, hey, do. Oops, that was a bad idea. Don't do. This is why knowledge is very, very important. Now, I'm not saying run off half-cocked and change everything in your life, but I might call my doc and say, hey, doc, I've never had heart disease. I don't have it actively. Even if you have a family history, that's not you having it. I don't have heart disease. It's not active in my family. I've never suffered a heart attack or a stroke. What do you think about this? At least ask them the question. And if they haven't kept up with their research, then share it with them. If they want to talk further, have them call me, right? But the idea is I think they'll be fine. They're smart, educated people. All they have to do is see the information. Now, this is coming out of their own governing body, the American Heart Association, okay, the American College of Cardiology, saying, look, we got to change this. They're telling doctors to now use caution in their recommendation for aspirin for patients. That both groups are now deciding that what we need to do is encourage exercise, encourage controlling your weight. Try to avoid tobacco. Try to avoid sugar in your diet. And try to decrease trans fats. So what they're saying is all the stuff I've been doing for 20 years is now trendy. See how exciting this is? There's nothing to this, right? I was like, wow, I couldn't have asked for better than this. All right, guys, I'm Dr. Shaw. I'll be back in just a moment.